Florida A&M University talks about language and its importance. Well, we are here to be evidence of that today as it relates to how this world that we live in is getting so close that you can literally just have France and USA on the set of Family TV 20 in one day. And so it is as we have from our College of Agriculture and Food Sciences, which is appropriate in terms of Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University, the Director of International Agriculture and all those programs that are related to it. My traveling buddy, as it were, from how she's allowed me an opportunity to go with her to Stellenbosch, South Africa, just to see the Farmer to Farmer program up close and personal as relates to the research going on there. She's a grants woman extraordinaire. I'm privileged, if you will, to call her my friend. Harriet Paul, thank you for being here today on TV 20.
Well, good afternoon. It's a wonderful pleasure for me to be here again with you.
You're always facilitating greatness here at FAMU. For those of you in the viewing audience who are not familiar, she can literally bring them from one continent to this one. And so it is with the gentleman that is joining her today. He flew all the way from Paris, France, just to be here with us today. And y'all know I'm going to say it. I'm sure his arms are tired, but no, seriously, he's here now. And he's been with us as relates to how he's helping us to not only meet some of the consumer needs, if you will, for safe, high-quality food products from a French perspective, but he comes to us also to collaborate with what we have to offer here at our College of Ag and Food Sciences. And I want to hopefully say his name correctly, but he'll let me know. Dr. Abalo Chango, who is an associate professor, if you will, and director of the Department of Nutrition and Health at, what's the name of that institution, please?
La Salle Beauvais, Institut Polytechnique La Salle Beauvais.
And I just like the way he says it. That's why I want to welcome him. But thank you, Dr. Chango, for being here today.
Thank you very much.
Indeed. Harriet, you know, you just bring the people together. I mean, you write the proposals, the grants come, and you have a person like this. Why is it important to have him here now at this time?
Well, Dr. Chango's visit is in line with a grant that we have from the U.S. Department of Education in the U.S. and our EU partner, our partner institution in the EU, La Salle Beauvais, and the University of Natural Resources and Applied Life Sciences in Vienna are our European partners, and they have a grant from the EU Commission. And we work together as a consortium, the two European schools and Florida A&M and the University of Georgia. Florida A&M is the lead institution on our side. The U.S. Department of Education is helping to further international education, and they have a number of programs that higher education faculty can apply for, and we have been successful for the second time.
Congratulations.
Thank you. With their program, the Atlantis program, Excellence in Mobility. Now, the Atlantis program allows our consortium of the four institutions to organize our students and faculty around a specific theme. Our theme for this project is meeting consumer needs for safe, high-quality food products. And around that theme, we have courses in agribusiness, in agriculture, and food science that our students are taking as part of their engagement in the program. In addition to the coursework, the students also get an opportunity through a competitive process to apply for semester study travel stipends. We are offering $5,000 in a travel stipend for the successful applicant to participate in a semester study abroad program.
So is that where Dr. Chango comes into play?
Dr. Chango comes in.
Him being here.
From La Salle Beauvais.
Yes. And so, Dr. Chango, you've been here for a little while now, and I know you maybe got off to an explosive start as it relates to your landing safely at our airport, but what is your goal of being here? What do you hope to share and to take back, if you will, to France?
Okay, well, I'm here in the continuum of this program, and we try to structure more this exchange program and to mutualize different course and research program too. We try to go ahead to have this communication between teachers here and the teachers in my institution.
And how is that going for you from your collegial academic perspective?
Yeah, we have in Institut Polytechnique La Salle Beauvais the food and health science, and we are specialized in the food health in Beauvais. We are leader in this degree, university degree, and we try to share this part of our knowledge with a student here.
Okay. How do you feel that's coming, I guess, in terms of your native languages? French, I'm asking you. Parlez-vous français?
Je parle très bien français.
And that's about all I have. So. But to say in terms of you, Harry, you know, you've been around the globe literally, and you know, we try to inculcate in our students the importance, if you will, of value adding to their education by being able to become very fluent in another language. But how is this exchange going from your perspective on this side of the globe, if you will, as relates to our counterparts in France?
Well, very well. The grant program has as part of its requirement that the students be engaged in second language training. That's a specific requirement, and the $5,000 scholarship travel stipend that we offer, part of that is given to support the second language training and assessment. So we do both assessment prior to the immersion or the semester study, and we do a language assessment after the student returns.
Quite a difference, I'm just thinking.
Yeah, to try and assess the learning in terms of specifically language that the student has been able to achieve. And we've sent 4 students so far. We sent 3 students our first year in spring 2011 to La Salle Beauvais and to their program, their semester program in nutrition and agriculture. And the students loved it. We sent 2 international agriculture and business majors and 1 food science major. And they had just a wonderful cultural, language, and academic experience. They all did very well academically and just had a memorable experience there in France.
Sure.
So the program is going quite well. And equally important for us is to get our faculty engaged in mutual teaching and mutual research.
What's the interest level there? Because to have a person like Dr. Chango here from France, from his institute, and to meet with some of our faculty, for example, in the Center for Viticulture and Small Fruit Research, the interest level there, are they ready now to go to France and do some great things?
Oh yeah, yeah. I wish
Leave today, huh?
I wish I had enough to send everybody. It's always very engaging when you can realize the creating of a network. A lot of what we do now has to be virtual because of the limitations in time and resources. But when we can actually take our virtual experience, where we've talked to our colleagues either through email or Skype or video conferencing, and actually now have a visit where they can work together in a lab, discuss specific science issues, and then look at the curricula that we have and share ideas and share course material that one will bring from his institution or her institution to share with the other institution, and to actually give lectures here during the teacher exchange period. I think it's very enriching.
Absolutely, and we're going to talk about some of that enrichment with you, Dr. Chango, when we come right back, but we're going to pause for the cause, because right here on the set of FAMU TV 20, we've got the connection between Europe and FAMU and the United States of America and where you are in the world. Thanks for watching Research Fundamentals on FAMU TV 20.
Today is Saturday. Today is Saturday. Salad on Saturday, fruit on Friday, throw a ball Thursday. Water Wednesday, touch your toes Tuesday. Let's move Monday, sparkle snack Sunday. All the healthy children eat well and move a lot, and move a lot, and move a lot. Eat well and move a lot. 60
minutes of physical activity a day and eating well can help get your child healthy. So keep them active and eating well every day.
Skip a rope Saturday, freeze tag Friday, tap dance Thursday.
Whole grains Wednesday, dry your veggie Tuesday. Let's move Monday, split the sweet Sunday.
Eat well and move a lot.
Today is Saturday. Today is Saturday.
All the healthy children, all the healthy children. Get ideas. Get involved. Get going at letsmove.gov. That's letsmove.gov.
Indeed, you know, sometimes you just gotta just build it and they will come. And so it is here at FAMU, because we have Dr. Chango, who's again here from Gay Paris, as it were, and we're having the fine time right here on the set of TV 20, getting you ready for lecturing here on the highest of Seven Hills. Dr. Chango, you're going to be talking with, after this show is aired, but some of the students in biotechnology with Dr. Salova in the Center for Viticulture and Small Fruit Research, and some other lectures. Will you share with us some of the content, please?
Yeah, the first lecture I'm going to give is Introduction to Biotechnology. I'm professor of nutrigenomics. The nutrigenomics is a converged biotechnology and high throughput technology. And there is an introduction, and I will teach to the student how genes are expressed and how our gene can give proteins, how proteins works inside of cells.
So that's your research interest, so to speak?
My research interest is focused on the one carbon metabolism. We can explain this folate metabolism and how the food component or food contaminant impact in our cells to develop or to prevent disease. Yeah.
And here in this country, and I know Harriet and I can relate to this, we're striving as much as humanly possible to combat obesity, especially in our children, so that they don't grow up to be obese adults. Does some of your research speak to that in terms of, again, what you were just describing?
Not directly, not my own research, but the research we are dealing in our team is, the team name is EGAL, c'est Expression des gènes et régulation épigénétique par l'aliment. Okay, it's in French. We are trying to
oui, monsieur, what? But what exactly did you just say?
Okay, we are trying to focus exactly in the very early at the age how food impacts in the development to develop later the disease like obesity or cancer or.
Because again, and I'm really pushing this envelope, but is there something, so to speak, like a fat gene in terms of some of the research that you've done that you find in France that, again, maybe some correlation here in these states? In other words, some of the foods that we ingest deliberately affect our cells in such a way that we are more prone, so to speak, to be obese?
It's not evident, but we have clue about this kind of development, you know, and we try to control different kind of food we eat, even before conception. And that can, how that induce disease more later for kids.
What are some of the outcomes that you and your team have come, you know, to find as relates to some of the descriptions that you're sharing with us, as relates to what could be applicable, if you will, as we move forward in this century?
At this moment, it's very early to say that we are going to applicate our funding, but we are still working on that.
Okay. Well, I know if there's any way that Harriet Paul can help you, she will write a proposal, get a grant, and make it so. But bringing it back home for us, Harriet, how does that impact us with the programs that you are familiar with in the College of Agriculture and Food Sciences, and how are some of our other faculty, perhaps beyond the Center for Viticulture and Small Fruit Research, able to potentially benefit as well as our students?
Well, certainly our food science faculty and the students in the food science area could directly benefit, because the theme of the project speaks to those academic areas. And as with most of agriculture, it's an interdisciplinary enterprise. In order to be able to achieve anything positive in today's society, we can't work in silos. I am a social scientist by discipline, but I have found a very warm nest in the College of Agriculture and Food Sciences. I'm in my 29th year there.
And you've written some successful proposals and gotten some grants for this university that have added to the coffers, if you will, of our research community.
And so our students in agribusiness, our students in food science, our students in even plant science, and other academic areas within the college can certainly participate and certainly benefit. There is also some benefit for students outside of the college. Public health, for example, could be an area.
From the College of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences.
Correct.
Especially when you think of the holistic medicines
Exactly.
that are being used in approaching and combating diseases these days.
Exactly. And while the program was specifically written for our college and our students in our college and faculty in our college, increasingly keeping in mind the land-grant mission, we're looking for ways to integrate agriculture, health, nutrition, food and fiber more broadly so that we can create a more interdisciplinary experience for faculty and for students so that we prepare the students to be the most globally trained students possibly. Not only from the geography or the cultural experiences beyond our borders, but from an interdisciplinary experience as well.
And even with other institutions, and I'm not only thinking of the French connection here, if you will, but with the University of Georgia being subcontracted with FAMU, how does that work in terms of, sponsored programs and the division of research?
Well, as a home for you, sponsored programs, Florida A&M provides to the University of Georgia a subcontract through a subcontract agreement, and based on the allocation that was approved in our proposal budget, that's now our program budget, they receive a certain allocation of money as part of the budget. Every year we get our funding annually in annual increments.
Based on performance objectives being met, so to speak.
Yes. This is a grant, so it's a bit more liberal than an actual contract in terms of terms and conditions and deliverables. But when we submit our annual report at the end of each fiscal year, the Department of Education does an assessment of the performance based on targets and goals and objectives that were defined for the year. And so given the fact that the money and resources for Department of Education, along with a lot of the other agencies, are very, yes, and they are very competitive, they ensure that they're funding programs that are achieving goals.
So Dr. Chango doesn't just show up just to be on American soil. He has to work.
He has to work. That's right.
And we get to work. That's what FAMU is all about. And we're going to work a little bit more when we come back and share with you, again, some of the exciting things that are happening in the College of Ag and Food Sciences at Florida A&M University. Thanks for watching Research Fundamentals.
You have the time to give. You have the capacity to care. You have the experience to contribute. And your country needs you, one of its greatest assets. Americans whose lifetime of knowledge and know-how will make the difference. Take what you learned in the workplace and apply those skills to your community. Shape tomorrow by being a mentor and tutor for children. Make independence a reality for people who need assistance and companionship to continue to make their house their home. Make a difference today. Get involved.
We know in this country that cancer is taking its toll along with other devastating diseases, and a lot of it does have to do with what we put into our mouths, because digestion, as it relates to nutrition, Dr. Chango, is something that you'll also be lecturing on in the days that you are here, has a lot to do with how effective or defective we can be to our own bodies. Would you just speak to that in terms of maybe some of the more proactive approaches that we can take to help us live longer and stronger from a nutritional perspective and your research?
Okay. We are very interested by the quality of food for our health. In terms of quality, we should have the optimal content of nutrients. In those kinds of nutrients, we are focused on folate. You know, vitamin B is a vitamin B group. This can be bring in optimal quantity every day. If individual is have deficiency on this vitamin, that can create a disease, cardiovascular disease, cancer disease, and so on and so forth. There is a reason why this kind of different micronutrients are very important, including how process impact or those kind of nutrients. All those steps should be controlled to have a good eating and a good nutrient in the end.
And indeed, I'm thinking also because, well, I take a multivitamin, you know, and mineral supplements because I know I don't always eat. You know, in other words, if I came to France, it wouldn't just be for a French fry, but okay, I know. But at the same time, in terms of some of the things that we do to quote unquote supplement because we're not eating, is that part of your research that you'll be sharing? Like, is it effective, the multivitamins that I take, you know, versus just eating the proper nutrient?
What we suggest is to have a natural and fresh vegetable and a natural
I should grow
food.
my own, in other words, and stop getting it out of a bottle. I mean, if you can't stand chastisement, you know, you're a bastard. But help us with that, because we become a kind of lazy, lethargic society to an extent. How is it in France? I mean, are you growing your own veggies and produce and fruit, what have you?
Okay, it's our activity don't let to have fresh vegetable and so on and so forth.
Okay.
But all should be balanced, you know. Also, you know, food we bring every day is supposed to keep us healthy, but some contaminants can be in the foods. But those kind of contaminants can impact on the availability of micronutrients such as folate and fundamentally that can create a disease too. And we have natural contaminants like mycotoxin or heavy molecule, but you have also some environmental chemical contaminant that can be present, and even in very small quantity. All those should be managed to have, in fact, great food for our healthy to prevent all disease.
Well, as Harry was emphasizing, you know, the theme here has to do with safety. You know, how do we eliminate pesticides? How do we eliminate some of the microtoxins? Or how do we eliminate the bad stuff and emphasize the good stuff?
Okay, that should be done before. That should be done before the cooking or before the food be available in our plates. You know, this is not in our domain. Our domain is how to cook and how to conserve at home the food and to keep that healthy for us. And what is the frequency to ingest different kind of micronutrient and different kind of, including fibers and so on and so forth.
Well, Harriet, maybe that leads us into part of what your program is about with the United States Department of Education and its funding certificate program. And again, the student exchange is some of that. Well, I'm sure it is, but how much of that is the emphasis or the thrust in terms of the bottom line is that we are responsible for what we're taking into our bodies and again, what comes out?
A lot. We are looking at issues of food safety. We're looking at issues of food quality. We're looking at issues of food processing and how the process of processing food or adding value to food changes some of the vital qualities that we need to be healthy in terms of the end product. And so one of the areas that we're also exploring is organic foods. Europeans, probably more than 90% of their production is organic production. A lot more so than here in the U.S.
Because we just don't have time. We just need it right away, got it.
Yeah.
And look at us.
Yeah. And so Even here in the U.S., there is a growing interest in a growing population that is utilizing organic production, and people who are paying the little bit extra for organic production, and some of us who are even attempting to grow our own organically produced foods. So this is a very positive trend. It's not to say that our food supply is no good otherwise, but I think increasingly we understand that using less chemicals is better for us from a healthy standpoint, and better for our environment as well, from an environmental health standpoint. So we want to expose students to all sides, where we have organic production on one side, and we also look at biotechnology, using biotechnology means to produce foods as well. So we expose the student to all sides of the issues of production and processing and consumption of food, so that they can understand what they feel is best, and each can take a track and develop their own knowledge and expertise in these areas.
And even mentor each other, because the peers can speak to the peers. And we're glad that we have the leadership even now in the College of Ag and Food Sciences of Dr. Robert Taylor, who, you know, the speed of the leader is the speed of the gang, and you're tuned in to the right place at the right time. So spread the word, okay? And we will let you know how to do even more of that when we come right back with this episode of Research Fundamentals. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned.
There's a monster in my bathtub.
For a child with asthma, monsters are everywhere.
There's one on the couch. There's a monster on my bed. Please make the monsters go away.
Learn more at noattacks.org.
Again, restructuring and reinvesting continue here at FAMU. And Harriet, again, Dr. Taylor, he just hit the ground running. Tell us a little bit about the dean now.
Oh, we have been very fortunate to get Dr. Robert Taylor. He comes from Alabama A&M, a sister HBCU institution, and he has hit the ground running. We are very pleased to have him. He's very supportive of international education. And so this works very well with the thrust that we already have going in the college. We've met with him on yesterday. We had a meeting with our leadership team, and he's very committed and supportive. And so we have a bright future and see a bright horizon in front of us. Nothing but opportunities.
And Dr. Chango, just thanking you for being a part of that. Any lasting impression, perhaps, that you could just leave with us, just being here this brief time that you have in Tallahassee from Paris, France?
Yeah, you know, it's always a pleasure to be here. I discover the dynamic of this network, and I thank Paula for that. I think this will have opportunity to go ahead in this connection in this network and the sharing this exchange too.
Well, FAMU is Florida's Opportunity University. I know somebody wants to get more information. How can they get that, Harriet?
Just contact my office, the Office of International Agriculture. We're in 204 South Perry Page Building, and Elizabeth Robinson or Betty Hudson or Nanda Kumar Diva is there in the office, and any of our staff people would be very happy to work with them and answer any questions that they may have.
Very good. A number that they can call just in case?
599-8867 is our main number.
Very good. And for all of the show ideas that you may have, be it local or abroad, just contact me at 850-412-7936 or email me your show idea topic, os.lamar, L-A-M-A-R, at famu.edu. Dr. Chango from Paris, France, we just appreciate your being here with us today. And Harriet Paul, always a pleasure with your international self. And each of you in our viewing audience, thank you so much for watching. And until the very next time, we are what we eat, so let's be considerate of just that. Till the next time, peace and blessings to you and yours, and thanks again for watching Research Fundamentals.